Hello, 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 my forget-me-nots. Sleeping lady here, ASMR. In this video, it is going to be a magazine flip through. So go ahead, get comfortable, chill, and relax as we get into this video. Now, this says wellness, kindness, mindfulness, inspiration. BREATHE, breathe. The self-care special. The self-care special. The self-care special. Beautiful flowers, as I can see here. And then right here it says, let self-love blossom, finding flow, pillow talk, release the tension and make yourself heard, fresh perspective, embrace the stillness, embrace the stillness. And I also am winding down myself right now, and I got the black raspberry chocolate chip 1 pint, and this is the Talenti gelato and sorbetto. Well, I don't know how to say that, but it says gelato or gelato and sorbetto, gelato and sorbetto. And I still never opened it yet. Well, I'll be having ice cream on the side. Let us go ahead and begin. This girl here, she has long black hair in a ponytail. Looks like she's doing some stretches or a yoga. And you can see birds here and some vines. As you can see, this looks like a sun or maybe half of a yin and yang, my guess. Anyways, this says welcome, 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 welcome. Why is self-care such a challenge? Knowing how important it is to take care of ourselves. Why do we struggle so often to find the time or the energy to do it? Sometimes even to be kind to ourselves. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Chances are when you think of self-care, you picture any number of hobbies or activities you'd love to fit into your day, if only you had the time. Massages, pedicures, a swim, a sunrise meditation. Social media is awash with smoothies, mantras, and wellness rituals that are guaranteed to revolutionize your life. But while these pursuits are undoubtedly positive and beneficial, they're only a part of your self-care story. The real challenge of self-care comes with learning to listen to yourself so that you can figure out your needs and address them. Feeling frazzled after a difficult day, that is so easy to do. But anyways, feeling frazzled after a difficult day, perhaps 10 minutes standing in the backyard with a warm drink could give you the chance to reset. Struggling to get going after a particularly bad night's sleep, maybe take a few moments to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Finding a balance of different self-care rituals that fit with the way you feel and what your body is telling you, giving you and what your body is telling you means giving yourself permission to do whatever you need to do to at that moment without feeling selfish, whether that's letting off steam, taking a little time to be alone, exercising, or enjoying a piece of chocolate cake. It's about what's happening inside of you. Your well-being and wellness comes first. It's time to make time for yourself. What a good introduction to this magazine. I am going to have a nice scoop of ice cream into my mouth. Contents. 4. Self-care is not selfish. 8. Fear the future. 10. Escape into stillness. 14. Mean versus the world. 18. First perspective. 20. Forever strong. 24. Embrace your dark side. 28. No limits. 30. Self-love blossom. Let self-love blossom. 34. Listen carefully. 38. Make yourself heard. 42. Sound advice. 46. Garden within. 52. Have and to hold. 54. Pillow talk. 58. Release the tension. 62. In good hands. 66. The big chill. Big chill. 68. Spoilt for choice. 72. When dreams change. 76 is finding flow. 78. Tell another stories. 82. Character building. 86. The ultimate goal. 88. Wonder walls. 92. Legends of the fall. And 96, last but not least, no to self. That is contents. Look at that. A beautiful animated picture here. As you can see, she's pouring into herself. It looks like very metaphoric, and you can see like plants growing out of her hair. She looks like she's zenning out, having peace, and just the picture alone right here is very metaphoric. She's pouring into herself and she's making herself grow, and there's things growing out of her hair and out of her mind, like peace. Well, let's go ahead and begin with this. Self-care is not selfish. A trend, a buzzword, a passing fad. Self-care has been called many things, but increasingly these days it's a tool for self-preservation against the backdrop of a global pandemic, the threat of which is both physical and mental. The need to pay attention. No, the need to pay careful attention to body, mind, and soul is perhaps more important than ever. It is so important to have self-care because if we do not, sometimes our body will crash mentally and physically. It's important to treat yourself to that ice cream. Treat yourself to the nails. Treat yourself to that nice journal that you wanted. And beautiful body scrubs, as simple as that, having in the shower, can refreshen your mind. Or even like deep cleaning is another good way, and for lots of us it's also ASMR. This ASMR also I really love doing radical. What gift can you give yourself? Let's start in the beginning. The history and orange surprisingly complex, used as a political weapon against immigrants, reclaimed by minority groups, and with roots in care for the mentally ill. It's a term that's been defined and redefined time and again. Today's more homogenized. Let me just skip this here and just jump into here. What gift can you give yourself? Joy, single mother of 2 teenagers, has been facing significant challenges lately. Balancing the responsibilities of raising nearly but not quite adults demands emotional strength, all while ensuring their needs are met. Recognizing that her feelings were beginning to act against her well-being, she looked for a way to provide a boost to her day, a mental injection of positivity. She created her own self-care box. Radical? Perhaps not. But this act is practical, positive, and proactive. She said, I have to be my own advocate. My mental health has to come first, otherwise I cannot be there for my children. They're anxious and worried about the future, of course. We all are, but if all I want to do is hide away and shut out the world, I can't do anything to help them. Joe's box is a simple but effective gift to herself. Her favorite chocolate, a book, candles, some reminders of great vacations, and times with her children. A few notes written to herself, reminding her of her own self-worth, become renegade acts of self-care that will see her through turbulent times. Not everyone's experience has been like Joe's. Some have found themselves completely alone, others surrounded by people. Acts of self-love will differ for every family, couple, or single setup. It's often seen as a deeply feminine term, something men might struggle to access or apply to themselves, a concept that perhaps has run its course as a wider society accepts the virtual importance of robust mental health. Eat well and sleep soundly. Exercise yourself in mind. These look so interesting. I am gonna deeper dive when I am reading it to myself, but recognizing your emotions, notice, accept, examine, observe. When it comes to self-care, your emotional needs can be just as important as physical and mental ones. Acknowledging, accepting all of your emotions, even those you'd rather suppress, takes effort, but being able to welcome sadness, anxiety, anger, or regret is a virtual step on the path to self-love. Only when you recognize your feelings can you decide whether to change or influence them. Next time you feel an unwelcome emotion, try this exercise, and I'm definitely going to use this in my own practice too. Notice, simply acknowledge what you are feeling, however uncomfortable that may be, without attempting to push it away. Can you give the emotion a name? Note it here. Accept, open your mind to emotions and give yourself permission to feel it. Try not to judge the emotion as good or bad. Just simply let it be. Just simply feel it. Examine. Now start to view the emotion with curiosity. Is the emotion affecting you physically? Are your shoulders tense? Are your jaw clenched? Are there different layers to what you are feeling? Jot them down. Jot down any thought. Observe. See the emotion for what it is. A feeling that can be observed, recognized, and accepted. Can you let the emotion go? I'll do that on my own terms. STOP, stop. Look at the eye, look at the eye, look at the eye, look at the eye, look at the eye. Okay, having enough ice cream. for this late night snack. Are you tired of assuming the worst is about to happen? It might be that worrying about the future is robbing you of your present. Why do we catastrophize? Is your catastrophizing out of control? Ways to tackle catastrophizing. Catastrophizing. I think you guys know how to say that better than me, but it's catastrophizing. Catastrophizing. I know there's like catastrophe. Catastrophizing. Number 1, look beyond the thoughts. Number 2, be your best friend. Number 3, write it down. 4, accept what you cannot control. 5, use your energy. 6, establish a trigger halt. Interesting. Try to think about the feeling that's underneath the catastrophic thoughts. Then, Kimberly, are you trying to avoid experiencing certain feelings and the physical sensation they bring? Ponder what they might be. If you can wait them out, advise Kimberly, just breathe slowly and they will usually pass in less than 2 minutes. Most people are their own worst critics. Sometimes it's difficult to show oneself empathy or to show irrationally. One technique of learning to talk to yourself is a logical way is to imagine you're speaking to a friend. What if they came to you with the scenario that sparked your catastrophizing? That's a hard word. Catastrophizing. Yeah, that word. Would you run down that road of doom with them, or would you offer alternate routes? Try to imagine what you might say to them. Whether you keep a journal or use a notebook, when you notice your thoughts spiraling, write it down. Can help to write about something you have to think about. Says Kimberly, writing is emotional processing. Writing by hand helps to shift a feeling into a thought, which lowers your psychological arousal and helps to functionally reconnect the emotional centers of the brain with the rational reasoning areas of the prefrontal cortex. Fighting against the inevitable. Fighting against the inevitable. Something that is out of your control or you can't predict mostly equals suffering. One approach therapists use to tackle this is called radical acceptance. It's a skill of being able to say to yourself that you cannot predict the future and there is nothing that you can do about the inevitable. Kimberly admits it takes practice, as we all like to believe that we have more control over events and people than we really do. But it's an effective way of dealing with the present and future, whatever that may be. Use your energy. Anxious energy can be a good thing, but try not to use it on feeling uncomfortable or overthinking. It can be employed more effectively, perhaps by going out for a walk, run, or cycle, taking up a new hobby, or becoming more engaged in community projects. There are positive outlets for those pent-up thoughts and power. The practice of mindfulness encourages the observation of thoughts without judgment and aids the return to the present moment when the mind wanders. Regular meditation practice can help you to learn how to do this. Another option is to establish a trigger to halt the spiraling process. Try say stop as soon as you notice thoughts getting out of control, whether it's out loud or in your head, can be interrupt and prevent their flow. It can interrupt and prevent their flow, from thinking, a spiraling process, If you're worried about the effect your own or a loved one's tendency to catastrophize is having on your or their mental and physical well-being, it may help to see your primary care physician. Catastrophize. One of my favorite things to see, like during the winter months, is especially getting up before dawn or right in the peak of dawn. And it's like around 7 a.m. or like around 6, 7, or 8 a.m. What I love to witness and see in the mornings is the silhouette of the mountains. It's really dark, and then right behind the mountains is like dawn peeking through, and that makes the stars and just the skies glow. The stars are like slowly going away, but you see that glow of dawn in the back of the silhouette of the mountains, and you can see like that beautiful glow of light blue, well, like dark blue, and then all around is like dark navy. That's my favorite view. I can watch all day. Like, it's just so mesmerizing, and I love it, and it takes my breath away every time I see dawn in the winter mornings, and it's just beautiful and breathtaking. Beautiful and breathtaking. Just that dawn glow and the silhouette of the mountains and that really, really crisp chill. One of my favorite things to witness all the time. And let's see what this says. Escape into stillness. For the highly sensitive person who is fine-tuned to their environment, a regular day can quickly start to feel overwhelming. Finding stillness and tranquility requires gentle and regular self-care. Meaningful self-care, daily practice. Let's go ahead and see. Navigating life is tricky at the best of times. For those who have no choice but to feel deeply, whose minds are prone to overstimulation, and who experience intense response to people, situations, and environments, it can be even harder. The world can appear too bright, too loud, and too much to bear. But one way that highly sensitive people, HSPs, can escape the noise, shake off heavy vibes, and find respite is to have access to emotional and sensory first aid. This can help to restore inner calm and instill a sense of peace. Meaningful self-care. Highly sensitive persons have no choice but to feel and experience life acutely, so using self-care tools and techniques can be helpful, and it's important to choose appropriate nurturing practices. April Snow, a holistic psychotherapist in San Francisco. I've been in San Francisco before. I'm so happy. Believes that with the right tools and self-awareness, HSPs can thrive. In her blog at expansiveheart.com, she suggests that self-care practices need to be meaningful and centered on quiet reflection. Quiet downtime allows our brain to process all the information we take in throughout the day, and it gives our nervous system time to relax. Since HSPs need their self-care to be quiet without stimulation, it's important to think of self-care and hobbies as separate activities. This means giving careful consideration to what constitutes quiet time and peaceful practice for the individual. This might involve more being than doing, and finding gentle little activities that do rather than stimulate. It might also mean setting boundaries with family, friends, work, or business. There's ample time to depress from sensory overload. Christy J. Rosen, a wellness coach, yoga instructor, and author of Empowering Sensitive Soul, has always experienced life deeply, whether that's meant being sensitive to foods, fabrics, people, smells, and highly emotionally open and aware of other people's feelings. After turning to yoga, she began to look at her health and body from a more holistic perspective. Holistic perspective. In her blog at KristenRosen.com, she suggests that a daily practice can help to achieve more peace and comfort in her life, which in turn makes it easier to stay grounded and centered, particularly during a challenging day. Daily practice. There are many practices to choose from, so the most important thing is that you find yourself you find something that resonates with you and that you will commit to, says Christy. Think of this practice as a mini vacation. Start with 10 minutes a day and notice a shift in mind and body. A meaningful daily self-care practice is a way of providing breathing space from an intense response to an overstimulating world. Some find it difficult to do this. Try to convince themselves that they don't have the time, the patience, or don't deserve the gift of self-kindness. But creating this retreat can contribute toward feeling more relaxed, peaceful, and quietly invigorated. With the daily practice, the tools can be used to recover and sustain energy to achieve equilibrium. It can also enable HSPs to manage the frazzle times with greater ease and presence. It's important to understand that the trait is not a personality condition or disorder, nor is it a matter of choice. For some, it can be burden, but there are ways it can be nurtured and managed. The idea of finding space and time for relaxation isn't to lower or remove sensitivity or sensory perception, but to provide respite from the extremes. Are you a highly sensitive person? If you answer yes to most of these questions, it's possible that you're highly sensitive. So, do you have a heightened reaction to or something? Feel overwhelmed by bright lights, loud noises, powerful smells, strong tastes, coarse fabrics or textures, or electric and magnetic frequencies? Interesting. I never really thought about that, but I know I'm very sensitive, like to some things and smells. Like, I'm very sensitive to those smells that I do notice. Like people's cars, like they have like a refreshener. Sometimes it could be very overwhelming. Even candles like these could be a little bit overwhelming for me, but I have to have a certain candle, and I can't have it on for too long, otherwise I can't do candles really. I try, but sometimes they can also be very overwhelming, especially the Bath and Body Works ones. Even perfumes are a little bit overwhelming for me, but then I still try to find that perfect scent that will not be too overwhelming. Like the one that I just recently got is the Good Girl Carolina perfume. It's kind of overwhelming for me, the black one especially. I love the blush one, but that can be a little bit overwhelming, so I can't put too much. I just have to put like a perfect amount on my body. Yeah. And so like car refresheners, candles will be very sensitive to me. And also I just recently got like a phone cover, the purple one. It's like, it smells really weird, but I try not to think about it. I haven't been using that one. I changed over back to my old phone case just because of that smell. I'm not too verbal about it. This is my first time really making a big deal out of it, but that's what I do notice. So I am really heightened to the the smells, like powerful smells, like such as car fresheners, or like I don't buy Bath and Body Works candles anymore. They're just too powerful for me. And bright lights. I really do not like white lights. I can't stand white lights. I don't know why, but I do love warm lights. And all over my house, all over the apartment, I encourage my husband to get the warm lights in the house because I can't do white lights. So those give me anxiety and just bring me back to a time where I didn't like those white lights. So I do think I am heightened. I do have a heightened reaction inward. I do not always speak it out, but I do have the overwhelming of I do get overwhelmed from lights, powerful smells, and textures. Some textures I can't do, but strong tastes I don't mind. I am not a picky eater. Magnetic frequencies, I do feel those. I just don't make a big deal out of those. So I will check that box. And do you often feel the need to overdraw to somewhere quiet and life becomes hectic? Yes, I do really love nature, so I'm just gonna check that. Are you particularly emotional about people's and situations? Yes, of course. I'm very emotional about that, and I do give it a lot of prayer. And so yeah, do you sense, feel, and take on other people's feelings, moods, and emotions? Yes, I do. Yes, I definitely do. I do sense and feel and take on other people's emotions and feelings and moods, and yeah, and I can feel when something's off in somebody, and like I can feel when someone's angry, mad, sad, or shy, or overwhelmed. Like I do feel that, and I'm usually right. Yeah. Sometimes I don't address it, and sometimes I do, because I don't want to seem crazy, you know. Anyways, do you struggle with being in a noisy, bright, or crowded place? Yes. But yes. Yes. Do you try to arrange your life to avoid upsetting, difficult, and overwhelming events? I mean, you know, I don't know about that. It's not too deep. Like, I try not to give it a lot of attention, and I try not to overreact, and I try not to like be dramatic, but I'll just skip that one. Do you have a heightened sense of the world around you? Of course I do. I do really feel that. Are you excited or nervous, particularly about meeting new people or embarking on fresh experiences? Yes, I'm always excited. I'm always excited and nervous, particularly about meeting new people and embarking on fresh experiences. It's just so exciting to me. I love it. It's awesome. But I do get excited and I do get nervous, so checking that. Do you seek comfort in an inner world? Of course. Of course. Self-reflection. What helps you become more relaxed, emotionally balanced? What helps me relax? I think ASMR, a clean home, a break from people. Like, work will overwhelm me, and there's a lot of, you know, speaking and just a lot of people in general, but I do find time to relax and calm myself, and I love it when it's just me and my family. That's when I wind down and feel at peace. Is there an activity that makes you feel lighter and more at ease? If so, what is it? So I like drawing. I like doing ASMR for you guys. I like reading, having a really nice hot shower, having like nice cocoa or like tea or ice cream or something, and just cozy. Or I like to go on rides or go on like peaceful places, swimming. Yeah. What restful daily practice appeals to you the most? I like to rest in bed on my days off, making sure I just get a lot of rest. And I also like to take hot showers and making sure, you know, the house is all clean. I love to do journaling, read the Bible, and just like read things like this, you know, that help me. And yeah, I'm just answering these questions because I thought that would be interesting. But you can always answer it for yourselves. Where can you make time and space in your day to ease and overwhelming pressures? And sometimes, you know, like purchasing something, sometimes that could be like therapeutic, retail therapy sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds bad, but sometimes if I get like something, or if I get my nails done, that will be like a nice treat, or like things like that. Retail therapy, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes that could be therapeutic, even though that sounds kind of bad. But you know, treating yourself to something that you like, such as this pen, simple as that. It could just be like retail therapy sometimes. I mean, it does really feel good when you get something new and you feel like you earned it, and you're like, yes, I'm gonna get a pen like this because I think that will be, because I earned it. I'm just gonna go ahead and indulge myself in this pen because I'm gonna make some use out of it. I'm gonna write in it. It's gonna be mentally therapeutic, writing stuff and jotting stuff down, doing a journal. So yeah. So, do you need to set stricter boundaries to focus on your health and well-being? Yes, of course, we have to all do that. Make sure you do that as well. And also for me as well is spiritually as well, because that makes me always feel good. Like, you know, when I pray and thank Jesus, God, the Holy Spirit for everything He has done, and you know, meditating on it, that also helps me as well. And I think that is my number one priority. Because when I am weak, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit is my strength. Self-care kit essentials: notebook and pen, home comforts such as a blanket, soft pillow, or loose clothing, nourishing body care items, including bubble bath, hand cream, moisturizer, choose unscented versions of fragrances to strip the senses, earplugs and eye mask, tea or a hot drink of your choice, soothing pictures, maybe landscapes or seascapes, meditation, and tranquil music audios. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I really like brown noise. White noise, not so much, like that refrigerator in the background, or like fans at night. I can't stand white noise. I really rather brown noise than white noise. Like the sound of like jets, and like if you're in a jet, I love that sound. And I'll link my favorite brown noise in this video as well. Daily self-care benefits: gain space to fully relax, negotiate life's ups and downs with more ease, develop a deeper sense of peace, have more energy for yourself and others, feel calmly present and composed, limit anxiety and stress, be more at ease emotionally and physically. Daily self-care benefits, and that also sounds like a spiritual benefits as well. For more information about HSPs, visit hsperson.com. Me versus the world. Believe in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in yourself. Access the situation, access the situation. Avoid resentment, avoid resentment, avoid resentment. Be patient, be patient, be patient. It's hard when it seems that every outing, every desire, every project goes wrong and that a run of bad luck is never ending. It can feel exhausting, but keep faith in your own ability, experience, and strength, and the likelihood is that you'll see it out. That's another word I remember reading in a magazine. Oh, don't tell me I don't remember it. Oh, I don't remember it, dang it. Oh man, that's gonna bother me now. I'm gonna have to look in my room and look for that word. I remember it was a word that we see things out. Not perseverance, but it's another word that I have to remember, and I'm gonna look for the word after this video. Anyways, look at this. This girl is taking a lot of things on. You can see she's holding a laptop, probably answering emails. She's probably really busy at work, mail, yeah, phone, probably blue light glasses and coffee and time. Of course, we're always racing time. And look at that plant. She has to take care of that plant. Or it could also symbolize like an office. And look at her. Seek advice, be wise, be methodical, be creative, accept that life is unpredictable, positive outlook. Fresh perspective. Many strive too high to remove character traits deemed less than perfect, but is there another way to look at them? One that embraces and celebrates humanity in all its guises. Desire for change, focus on the positive, another point of view, find self-acceptance. Forever strong. When you're the person everyone always turns to for advice and emotional support, it can be hard to admit that you're feeling overwhelmed, low, or worried. Yet being open and honest at these moments could be beneficial all around. All around, all around, all around. Look at her standing tall and proud. And look at her resting too. Are they the same person? Who knows? The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places. Oh, that is very, very aspiring and powerful quote by Ernest Hemingway, A Farewell to Arms. Look at the window, look at the window, look at the window, look at the window. Embrace your dark side. I'm very curious, like, what does that mean? Experiencing powerful and destructive emotions can be distressing. Here's how to begin to live alongside them. What does a destructive emotion look like? I want to read this whole thing, actually. Before I do that, let me go ahead and have another ice cream. It's probably really melty, really melted. Look at that. I have to put it away after this. To be honest, I don't like ice cream like melty that way. I like it like really, really frozen. I'm gonna not put this away. Talent team, gelato, black raspberry chocolate chip, 1 bite. Most people happen. They're railed by their emotions at some point, perhaps. It was seeing a partner talking to their ex, hearing that a friend had been promoted, or being on the receiving end of a rude sales assistant. Before you know it, a torrent of emotional force has been unleashed, and you find yourself sat there in the aftermath, wondering what happened. Getting pushed around by strong emotions isn't unusual. Fear, jealousy, greed, or rage are some of the big ones that burst through the floodgates and leave a trail of destruction. While it can seem counterintuitive to do anything but try to eradicate them from your life, or else put them in a corner of your mind and bolt the door, this can be more detrimental when you get to know and even take care of destructive emotions. Your relationship with them can begin to transform. That's very interesting. What does a destructive emotion look like? For some, these emotions might be externally focused, blaming the world and those around them for injustices or things that they have gone wrong, or things that have gone wrong for others. There are targeted internally, for example, berating yourself over a failure or for your appearance. They can lead people to isolate themselves, use substances to cope, or else use loved ones as a metaphorical punch bag. These telltale signs can be the strength of the emotion, denial of its existence, not taking responsibility for the situation, feeling afraid or ashamed of having the emotion, and seeing disruption at home, work, and with friends and family as a result. For Kane Kirby, a former RP director, anxiety caused destruction in her life. She says, I started to lose interest in work. I felt distance from my colleagues, and eventually I walked away from my business. I couldn't see a way forward. I couldn't function, and had a massive impact on my husband, even though he was there for me. Powerful destruction emotions can arise with such force that it can feel like they blazed in from out of the blue with zero notice. Claire, a marketing manager, says, my anger can feel like it comes on so suddenly and ends up in an outburst. There's just so much inside that feels like it needs to come out. The triggers for such emotions are often small, but they may have been slowly building over time. Is it speaking with a particular person that evokes the feeling, being in a certain setting, or even time? The topic turns to why you haven't found a partner, settled down, had a family, or got a real job. Uncovering your own triggers can help you understand the emotion and even preempt outbursts. Look out for early physical warning signs that your mood is changing. Think tightened muscles and jaw, changes in your breathing, shoulders starting to tense, becoming hotter. The body often shows the first subtle signs of changing emotions, so becoming more attuned with physical responses is important. It's understandable to say that you don't want to feel hatred, jealousy, anxiety. Wouldn't life be easier without them? The truth, however, is that they're hardwired into the brain at a core. Visceral level to aid survival. To eradicate them is both impossible and unwise. What you can learn to do is to respond to them in a different way so that you see them for what they are and find healthy ways to release them. It is, in fact, the pushing away the denial and the subsequent shame and guilt that can keep destructive emotions in play. Having an unpleasant or challenging emotion is not itself necessarily the issue. It is when we cannot bring any level of acceptance to what you are experiencing, as well as the resulting behavior that follows the emotion. Claire says, I used to avoid dealing with stress and anger and go out drinking and partying as a quick fix, but it wasn't sustainable. Trying to cope like this ended up causing more problems, like not having any energy at work and getting into the wrong relationships. Without pushing away your challenging emotions, you can gently start getting to know them. How strong is it? Rating from 0 to 100%. What does it show up in your body? What does it make you want to do? It can even be more helpful to try to draw or write about a difficult or destructive emotion, perhaps seeing what it might look like as a person or animal, even what color it might be. Once you have registered in its presence, you can try receiving it, the message, with gratitude. Thank you, brain, for not letting me know I feel jealous. Thank you, brain, for letting me know I feel jealous around my partner. I know I need to strengthen our relationship to feel more secure. You can then direct your attention to a healthy, absorbing task, such as tackling the problem itself, calling a friend, or going for a walk. Claire found exercise helpful. Running has been the only thing that has really cut through the stress. It's easy not to bother, but I feel empowered after, and I am generally a nicer person to be around. Activities and such of those things. And I'll read them more once I am not recording, since it's almost been an hour. Oh, look, they're hugging. Flowers. Hugging. Probably her partner. No limits. Feel stuck in a groove you don't like. It might be you need to explore what's keeping you there in order to make the change that will lead you toward the life you really want. Steps to get started. What thoughts are holding you back? Change your thoughts. Do 3 things today that move you toward the life you want. Wow. This is really going to be a helpful magazine. I'm going to go more in depth. I'm going to read more in depth. Put notes in it. Ooh, look at she's camping, I see. Alone. Very fearless. Can't wait to deep dive in this magazine and look up words that I would like to learn more about. Listen carefully and you'll discover it's possible to build a positive, supportive relationship with your inner coach. Your inner coach. Tips to stay connected with your inner coach and develop confidence. Mind your language, third-party perspective. Focus on the positive circle of protection. Ask open questions. Breathe. Make yourself heard. And I'm going to go more in depth when I read it to myself. Sound advice. Do you like the song? Ears first. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, that was really nice. Just the parts that I read. I feel I'm gonna really love this magazine. And remember, you guys, self-care is important. Self-care is important. Self-care is important. So make sure you do something that makes you happy. So you don't get stressed and overwhelmed. And also a big thing is also like prayers and spirituality and thanking God for everything that he has done, and gratitude, showing gratitude as well. Houseplants. Sleeping swan. Look at the yoga. I'm probably even going to try stretching too. Ooh, pillow talk. Look at these fun pictures. But I'm gonna read this more in depth. I hope that you thought this was interesting, and I hope that you even get one for yourself and read it to yourself as well. Just breathe. All right, my forget-me-nots. Sleeping lady.